Another hit. There he is. Yeah, I'm probably gonna need the net on this one, buddy. Got some fight in him, dude. You got another one? As I'm talking? As I'm talking. How rude.
Hey y'all, welcome to this episode of Salty Bottom Outdoors. If you haven't already, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button down below so you don't miss anything. This week I'm gonna take you with me on a very tough day, battling cold north winds and overcast most of the day. Stay tuned after the video for this week's tackle tip.
That might be a red. Yes, well, it's not very big. Oh, he spit it. I didn't get a good hook set on him.
You're just excited a bit, so.
I was trying to turn the camera on, and I didn't keep pressure on him. Hey, cast down this way. Oh, finally we're gonna put some fish in the boat. Oh, it's been a long day.
There we go.
Nice little bass. You want to keep him?
Nah, not that size.
Why not? That's a great eating size. Cast down this bank a little bit. There's some nervous bait balls. Perfect. Beautiful cast. Seeing some nervous bait. Make sure you're letting it fall all the way to the bottom. Paws reeling in between your hops. They've been hitting it on the bottom. Look, something just got blown up. Another hit. There he is. Is that a trout? That's a trout, baby. That's a little bitty trout, but that's a trout. That ain't no keeper. Little bitty dinker. Little bitty dinker trout. Ain't nothing but about 10 inches. It's a male. I'm croaking. There's trout in here. That's a good sign. That fish ain't cold either. This water's warm, dude. He's not cold at all. I think we're gonna anchor right here and work this spot for a few minutes and just see what happens. This is the first spot we've seen consistent action all damn day. This is gonna happen the same way it was the other day. If I pull the anchor up, one of us gonna hook a fish. I promise you. Nice bass. That's a chunker. Hell yeah. There you go, buddy.
That's what's up.
Come all the way to Louisiana and go into saltwater marsh to catch a freshwater bass.
Right. You're fishing like the best lake in the world for bass fishing.
Fishing Lake Oconee, can't put a bass in the boat. Go fish saltwater in Louisiana marsh and put in that's a nice bass, bro. Nice little 2-pounder or so.
Yeah.
There you go. Throw them in the cooler, man. My monster's gonna taste fishy. Where's my battery at? 20%. I'm probably gonna need the net on this one, buddy. It's right here. Oh, that's a nice one. Hey, look, before you get the net, don't worry about it. Sink this marsh anchor. I don't want us to drift over these fish that are feeding. It's hanging right there. That's a big red. Just sort of throw it in the mud. You ain't got to sling it. You just sort of got to drop it. Oh, that's a nice red. That's a real nice red. That's a nice red fish. Right here. Oh, and he's spunky too. This warm water's got him fired up. Oh, look at him.
That's pretty. Come on, baby.
Dude, he is not giving up. It's coming to you. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. That's a nice redfish there, boy. I'm just trying to hold you up, show the people. There we go. That's what we come here for.
There we go. Yes, sir.
Oh, he wasn't going nowhere too. He was so good. Can hear him thumping. It's a male. Been catching a lot of males back here, not many females. There we go. All right. There we go, guys. Nice redfish. 20, I'm gonna say 23. I'm gonna say 23. Let's check it out. Oh man, I'm getting good at this. Oh, he's almost 24. Almost 24.
What's Louisiana slide?
16 to 27, but you can keep one over 27. Beautiful fish, nice orange fins, beautiful blue tail. We got some green buddies in here for you. They don't take up as much space as you do. All right, we're making progress. Oh my God.
The cooler flip on you too?
No, I just missed the cooler. Oh God. And then I just missed the whole fucking deck. Put it on that point. Where that bayou comes out, put it on that point. Perfect.
Like on the point like that?
Perfect.
You didn't say put it in the water by the point, you said put it on the point.
Touche, touche. A little literal there. But at least you're following instructions. Little rat red. Little bitty fella. He ain't gonna keep.
About 14?
Yeah, something like that. Little rat red. 14 inches or so. See you, buddy. Oh, got one. And Dusty with a red. Dog. Don't tighten it up too much. I'm about to drop the anchor and I'll grab the net. Still a solid fish though.
No, he's good.
Oh, it was wrapped around him? All right. Look at that. Dusty with his first Louisiana red. Hey, easy. Don't lose him at the boat, bro. Loosen that drag up a little bit. He got nowhere to go. Ooh, how much battery do I have? 9%. Easy, easy. Loosen that drag just a touch, dude. That's fine, perfect. I don't want you to lose him. I only got 12-pound test on there. Just let him, he'll wear out in a second. That's a 24-incher, dude. That's a cookie cutter, that one that I caught a few minutes ago.
Come on.
Got some fight in them, dude. Cold air, but the water's 64 degrees. These fish are fired up. Come on.
There we go.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Get this done before I lose battery. Look, grab him right there behind the gill plate. Pinch him hard, he's gonna flop.
You got a grip on, you got the gloves.
Guys, so the conditions have been pretty much abysmal today, but we still managed to put some nice fish in the boat. And funny thing is, Dustin just said we covered 30 miles today and all of our fish have come in a 50-yard stretch of bayou. You got another one as I'm talking?
Yes, sir.
As I'm talking. How rude. Bass. That's a healthy one too. So, as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, what we're doing right here is this bayou connects to Lake Bourne way out there, and the water is sweeping around this bend on an incoming tide and pushing up against that bank there, and that bank has some deeper water on it, about 5, 6, 7 feet deep, and these fish are just stacked up against the bank right here and right around the end.
These fish. Yeah.
There you go. Is that another one?
They can go around us.
That's a little rat red. No keeper. That's all right. They stacked up on that point, dude. They loving that midnight color, that opening night color. Same little stretch of shoreline.
Mwah.
Ew. Kiss you. He came back out the water. He was so excited to be out the boat, he almost came back in the boat. He just picked it up too. It was sitting dead on the bottom, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah, they can go around us.
And I got one. Another little rat red. It looks, nope, that's a bass. That's a nice bass too. Nice bass, nice bass. Nice one. They are stacked on that point, boy. You know what's going on? On a falling tide, I catch them over there. It's an incoming tide. The water's coming up this bayou and hitting that bank. I bet you we'll catch them on the backside of that next point too. What you think? God, the bite has been so subtle though. Even those 22-inch plus redfish are just barely pecking at it. The rat reds are hitting it like freight trains. The 24-inch reds are just picking it up and swimming with it. It's crazy. All right, one more cast. If neither of us catch anything, we're gonna pick up the anchor and move a little bit further. I just got hit. I just got hit. I missed it. Anchor, 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 anchor. Dude, I got hit. I'm not kidding.
Anchor, 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 anchor. Dude, I can just keep it out there.
Hook sets are free, man. Set that hook, boy. Oh! After this cast, we're gonna pull up the anchor. I can't even keep a straight face saying it now. All right, I'm seriously pulling up the anchor after this one.
Yeah, let's get the anchor on. Hey, seriously, pull the anchor.
Nope. That's a trout.
There we go.
That's a keeper trout too. Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's a keeper. He's spunky too. That's a keeper trout, baby. Oh, he got it deep too. That's a solid fish, man. That's about a 14-inch or so. Oh, I called it. 13 3/4. Easy, fella. He don't know it, but he's dinner. So we're coming up on here, guys. We got 3 bayous that converge right here. There's a big duck pond over there, the bayou that snakes back that way, bayou that goes back that way, and the bayou we just came out of. And it's an incoming tide, so that water's coming in and filling out these bayous. And hopefully we can find a few more reds with their noses on these little bayous, waiting for the water to get deep enough for them to go up in there and chase the bait fish. Just a little peck. There he is. He came back for it. That's a trout. Ain't no keeper. God, he's a skinny trout. Oh, I don't know. He could probably keep. He might be 12, but he's so skinny. I'm just going to throw him back. All right, all right, all right, all right.
Man, I'm filet, they working.
There'd barely be a trout nugget, dude. Oh, just spooked a big fish. There he is. Cast back in there. I mean, he hit it. That's a red, I think. It's either a red or a nice bass. That's a big trout. No, that's a big bass. He's coming up to the surface. I thought it was he was right on that.
Right there?
Yep. Dude, that's a pretty solid bass.
Bumping bottom.
I didn't really have a chance to. He just sort of hit it as soon as it came in there. Solid bass.
Yeah, we're making a little bass dinner out of this. Got some fat redfish fillets.
Yeah. There he is. Feel nice?
No.
Trout. I mean a bass. A decent bass. A little chunky guy.
He'll float you all the way over. Come here.
It's a skiing bass. He's a little guy. I don't know if I'm gonna keep any more bass.
I'm gonna give him back his appreciation.
To the fish guides?
Yes.
There he is. He just picked it up. I just felt the line. Did you see the rod dip?
Yeah.
He didn't even hit it. I mean, the line just started moving. Another little marsh bass. Look at how red his belly is. That's weird.
Yeah.
Got another one? Oh.
Oh.
I think I caught that on camera.
Look, I got shot with a paintball.
Oh.
That's not a bass.
That's not a bass. If it is, it's a whirl. It's the bottom.
Told you it wasn't a bass.
You weren't wrong.
So this entire episode, as I mentioned in the video, was shot in the span of about 150 yards in a bayou after covering a very large amount of water. My buddy Dustin was taking his daughter to a parade in New Orleans after the fishing trip, and we had to be off the water by a certain time. I knew it was going to be tough in the morning. I knew the bite was going to be better later in the day, but we went early anyway just to see if we could find a few feeding fish and make the day a little bit better. We spent almost 5 hours on the water without catching a single keeper fish, except for a tiny little glass minnow. After about 11 o'clock, the tide finally started to change from a slow falling tide to a nice incoming tide. After checking out a few new areas I'd been scouting on Google Earth with no results, we pushed into a bayou that I knew would produce because I didn't want my buddy to come all the way to Georgia and not catch anything. With that being said, I want to talk about a tactic on this week's tackle tip. It's called drift and stick. You've probably heard of it. If you haven't, it is an extremely effective way of fishing the marsh. You drift, if you get a couple of bites, you stick. Drop the anchor, drop the power pole, hit spot lock, stay in that area, see if you can find anything else. If you don't catch anything after a few minutes, you pull up the anchor, pull up the power pole, resume drifting. I don't have a power pole, mostly because I just don't want to spend that money. And there's a lot of people out there that don't want to spend $2,000+ on this piece of equipment. Don't get me wrong, I want one and I will get one eventually, but for now I settled for this significantly less expensive piece of equipment that accomplishes the same thing with just a little bit more manpower. And that piece of equipment is called a marsh anchor. This is literally just a stainless steel rod. It's been sharpened somewhat on one end, and it has a shackle on the other that you attach your bow line to. And you can sink this in the mud. It's very effective. This is the precursor to the power pole. It's been around for a long time. It works great, and it's a fraction of the price at less than $100 if you buy it from the store. You can also make it yourself and save a few pennies. You can see in the video that I use this tool very effectively. If we caught a fish, if we got more than one bite in a row, I would sink this anchor in the mud, turn off the trolling motor, and let this anchor hold us in that area so we could work it thoroughly. The fishing wasn't crazy, fast and furious. The bites were very subtle, even harder to detect with the wind conditions. So anytime I got a bite and I saw some features that I talked about in my last video that made me want to stick in that area, I'd drop that marsh anchor and we'd just sit there and work it. If we didn't catch a fish in about 5 minutes, I'd pull that anchor up and we'd keep going. As long as we were catching fish, I would stay in that area. The bulk of this video was shot in one spot where water was sweeping down a bayou and hitting an abrupt turn, and it dug out the bayou. It was about 6 or 7 feet right off the bank, and these fish had their nose on the bank, waiting for bait to get swept down the bayou. When it hits that wall, the water swirls and it confuses the bait and makes them easy pickings. So long story short, drift and stick is a very effective method that can be used a lot of different ways. This just happens to be a very simple and inexpensive way to do it. Sure, it takes a little bit more effort on your part, but in my opinion, it's worth the extra money you save. If you enjoyed this week's video and you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe and hit that notifications bell so you don't miss anything. Can't wait to see y'all next time on Salty Bottom Outdoors.